Hello everybody, it's MDH1029 here, and just want to give you all a heads up of what happened at WrestleMania this year. As I did last year, I did results. I did results in a shocking portion, I guess. Not really shocking, but what do you expect? Now, as of the two shows on the kickoff, the tag team titles, of course, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retained their title, and as the next week got that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the kickoff show, which I didn't expect Big Show to win it at all. I thought Mizdow was gonna win it, but I guess Mizdow, he quit being with the Miz as now a personal assistant, which is a good thing, because we don't care. Mizdow doesn't care no more. He quit. Now, as on to WrestleMania itself. The 8-man ladder match, I believe. Was it 8 or 7? I really can't remember, but it's been a few hours. Let's see, the ladder match, the Intercontinental Championship, like the first one, it was for the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, it was pretty interesting how they did that concept of having the ladders into play. As in terms of Dean Ambrose breaking the ladder from that powerbomb, quite surprised that happened. Quite surprised. Now on to the next match, which was the crap. I can't think of it now. Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. Yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of. That's what I was trying to think of. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. I didn't expect that much of a good match between Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. But Randy Orton doing those RKOs out of nowhere took the cake. And basically took the cake on some fans, but not me in general. Not me in general. Because sure, RKOs out of nowhere from Orton and all that. Curb stomps. Of course, RKO, Randy Orton kicks out. Curb stomp, Orton kicked out. I don't know how they did it. Must be resiliency from the superstars. Now, as in terms of the last bit of that match, I thought Seth Rollins had it with that curb stomp, but somehow Orton jumped out when Seth Rollins was gonna land that curb stomp. Randy Orton just came out with the RKO out of midair. I didn't expect that to happen. How is that even possible? How is it even possible to catch anybody with a finisher in midair? That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird how Orton does it. Now, on to the next match. Sting and Triple H. This match, I was quite excited for. Because the main thing is, I didn't expect Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and X-Pac to be there that day. Or Shawn Michaels. I didn't expect them to be there on that day. What was that all about? I'm sure we had Hogan, Nash, and Scott Hall, but the NWO. Now this match took the cake for me, as well as the match I was going to talk about later on in the video. Now, as of that match of Sting and Triple H, talking about the entrances were crazy. Now, I think Triple H's entrance took the cake ever since last year's WrestleMania. And that's personally from a WWE fan in general for all my life as a kid. Just to be honest. Now, as for Triple H's entrance, I thought he was good. I thought Triple H's entrance could whip choppers. Whip the setup. I don't know. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me at first. Now, as on the next match, the Divas Tag Team match of the Bellas facing AJ and Paige. Now, this match was not that good, but it was pretty resilient how AJ kept getting up to get Paige that tag. Yeah, get Paige to tag her in. I didn't expect those two to win at all. Paige's first WrestleMania, by the way. Ever since last year, she debuted the night after WrestleMania last year. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Put on it. Put a little finger on, Put a little note on that. As for the what was the next match? The Bray Wyatt against The Undertaker. Now, I didn't expect The Undertaker to return from after what happened last year. I didn't expect The Undertaker to return at all. Now, as I know, I am a Undertaker fan at heart after all my life, and didn't expect The Undertaker to win this year's WrestleMania. The question is, how did he do it? How did he get to a point that he could get one more last run in him against Bray Wyatt? And I don't think Bray Wyatt really think he calls himself the new face of fear. Now, as I think of it, it kind of confuses me a bit why the Undertaker came back to challenge Bray Wyatt, because we all know that Bray Wyatt taunted the Undertaker lots and lots and lots of times, from the casket to the urn, and then it was like a couple of weeks before the Undertaker accepted it, as the Johnny Cash song goes, the man comes around, and boy, did the Undertaker did. The Undertaker did at WrestleMania and won. I'm kind of surprised. As for the what was it? Crap. As for the main event in general, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, well, I should probably say, because at the middle of that match, Seth Rollins cashed his Money in the Bank briefcase in WrestleMania. The first time. This is the first time they cashed in at WrestleMania. The very first time this happened. Now, I'm kind of surprised he did. I knew it. I knew he was going to have a plan. I knew he thought he had a plan. And that was the plan all along. To cash in to save that Money in the Bank briefcase until that WrestleMania, this WrestleMania, by the way, that's already been done with, to cash it in. That was his plan all along. That was his plan. And I definitely know that's the Authority's plan, by the way, as well. Triple H, of course, Triple H wanted to get Sting, but that's not part of the Authority plan. But the next thing is, before that match, and Ronda Rousey and Steph, Triple H, and The Rock. I didn't expect Ronda Rousey to be so much of a UFC women's fighter, by the way. And it's really, really different, actually, when you think of it. Think of it of a Ronda Rousey in any wrestling ring or octagon, doesn't matter what you think of it. And I think she did a good job of trying to personify her legacy as a UFC women's bantamweight champion in the UFC, and trying to take it to Stephanie, try to break her arm, while The Rock laid a smackdown on Triple H's ass as usual. And we know it. We all know it too well. Now, I was on to the main event, and that'll probably be the last match there was, that Seth Rollins cashed his Money in the Bank to make it a triple threat match. I couldn't believe he did it. I thought he was not going to do it until the next night. But I guess he took a shot, got the opportunity, and won the WWE World Heavyweight title. That was a pretty good plan. Pretty good. I guess you could call it a heist type situation. So yeah, I gotta say this was one of my favorite WrestleManias out of from last year to the WrestleMania 20, I believe, WrestleMania 20 at least. And I think that if they keep giving us good WrestleManias like this, we will be all good. We will be all good, man. We'll be all good. And as we have the Hall of Fame, and I was kind of surprised Rikishi is in the Hall of Fame this time. We already have so many great Samoans like Rocky Johnson, Yokozuna, and now Rikishi. It's kind of interesting, actually. As we go on, the Bushwhackers in the Hall of Fame, and the living legend Larry Zbyszko. Living legend Larry Zbyszko. This guy was defining wrestling during the 70s and 80s during the point of WCW, during the point in the 90s and all that. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, I know that glaring light's following you guys. Hang on. Now, the thing is, let's see, there was Alundra Blaze, aka Medusa. I was really impressed how she still got that old women's championship back, take it out the trash to begin with. Like, really? You still have that thing, even though you left it gone. And, yeah, I think it's kind of interesting how London Blaze is now in the Hall of Fame. Pretty interesting stuff. As of Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's now a Hall of Famer in the celebrity portion, as far as I say. It was not bad of a choice. And Macho Man Randy Savage's brother accepted the Hall of Fame induction, you know, for his brother, for Larry Poffo, for his brother and all that. As for the Warrior Award, that kid did so many things that made everybody feel aspirational of being, that we could try to beat cancer in many ways possible. And having that kid's father having to be having that trophy makes him feel pretty honorable for his son. As for Kevin Nash, I gotta admit, Kevin Nash is finally in there. He's finally in with the rest of the Hall of Famers that were in there before. I think if they keep getting good Hall of Famers like Kevin Nash and all that now, and we also don't forget about Tatsumi Fujinami, famous Japanese wrestler, and what else was there? Crap. Am I missing someone? I don't know. I really need to watch the Hall of Fame when I get a chance. And now that's pretty much the whole WrestleMania week, besides WrestleMania Access in general. I mean, I really want to go to WrestleMania Access myself, but I don't have the money, and I don't have the money to go anywhere crazy and all that. And who knows? Man, but you just hate when WrestleMania gets to you, and you actually say like when WrestleMania gets to you, and you sit down and back hurting and neck hurting and all that. It gets to a lot of people. So yeah, it was pretty impressive WrestleMania, and one of my favorites since last year and WrestleMania 20, in my opinion. Now as for WWE 2K15 review goes, I'm still waiting for that Path of the Warrior DLC to get it done so I could do a video review for you guys when I get done playing the game. But first I need to buy the NXT Arrival Pack before I get the Path of the Warrior. So yeah, this is MDH1029 signing out. You all take care of yourselves, have a great evening, and Sting lives on forever.